What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Rush Mike. I am out here once again at the same little shopping center I was at in the last episode, just spinning Pokestops trying to fill up my eggs. I really don't have much other reason to be out today. In fact, I didn't get out until late this afternoon because there's been extremely strong winds in my area. Like, so strong that you don't want to go out because you think the winds are going to be so strong it's going to hurt you or hurt your personal property or something. So, it was just best to stay inside. So I got some very concerning news. My grandmother, who is, I think, 96 years old, tested positive for the coronavirus. My aunt informed me of that last night. They're going to take her off of her ventilator or respirator or whatever it is they hooked her up to today. And the thing about my grandmother, she's been in impeccable health for her entire life. Like, we've rarely ever had to worry. But now that she's 96 and she's got this virus that has killed hundreds of thousands of people, I'm actually wondering this might be it. And to be honest, I kind of got mixed feelings about it. Now, my grandmother has, for the most part, been good to me. She helped pay for my college tuition, which I am incredibly grateful for her for that. But she's been, for much of her life, she's been self-centered. She's been misanthropic. She's alienated a lot of people, including members of her own family, in ways that I cannot condone. And I'm not going to go into much further detail than that, but she's the kind of person that's, I mean, if you met her, you'd know what I was saying. So, like, if you didn't know much about her, if you only knew her tangentially, you wouldn't feel that too sad about her death. But when you're part of her family, when you've known her your entire life, you kind of get mixed feelings about it. But she's 96. She's lived a long life. She's lived, I presume, a happy life. Although, I guess that's for her to say, not me. Married to my grandfather for, I'm sure it's over 50 years. My grandfather died in 2012. And of my grandparents, of my four grandparents, he was the one I was the most close to. But yeah, that's, aside from my brother's boss testing positive, which is like 2 degrees of separation. I mean, I guess this would be the first time, and my mother's friend's stepsister, which would be 3 degrees of separation. This is the first time it's really affected me personally. Now, my grandmother, she lives, I guess, an 8-hour drive away from me, so I don't see her all that often. And obviously, under these circumstances, I don't really plan on seeing her in her last days. I don't know what I guess the funeral arrangements had already been made, and for obvious reasons, I'm not going to go to that. But yeah, it's, I mean, it's the kind of thing you I mean, when she turned 90, it's like I was thinking the end is going to be near, and how am I going to process it? And I guess I'm all right. I guess under rights, all right's a pretty, I guess it's an understatement. Like, I've just been chilling all day. I've actually I've taken on this new challenge. So I counted. There are 23 movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I estimate I've seen between 15 and 20 of them. I know there's a few I either didn't get a chance to watch or just didn't really feel like watching when they were in theaters. You know, Ant-Man is one of them, and I just wasn't motivated to see. And Captain Marvel, I guess I was so busy at that time that I didn't get a chance to see it. But yeah, majority. So here's the challenge: there are 23 of these Marvel movies. I just got a 7-day free trial to Disney Plus. So my challenge is to watch all 23 movies in that 7-day span. And I know what y'all are thinking. You're not going to make much headway on it being out and recording a video and not watching the movie. Yeah, it's a risk I'm willing to take. So 23 movies over 7 days, a full week. It's a little more than 3 movies a day. And each movie, I estimate, is about 2 hours long, maybe more. So I'm going to say it's going to take 6 to 8 hours per day of watching movies to complete this challenge. It's going to be hard. I'll be honest, I think the odds are against me on this one. I just finished the first one. Iron Man. Iron Man came out 2008. Man, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the spring of my senior year of high school. And I was working in a movie theater at the time. So I definitely had a lot of access to watching movies for free, oftentimes before any of my friends did. So Iron Man came out. And since it was my senior year, I'd already gotten accepted into college. I'm trying to think, did I already take my AP test or not by then? I'm not sure. It was May. But the Friday it came out, I skipped school that day and that afternoon, I watched a matinee of Iron Man, and I absolutely loved it. I was really taken by Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. And just remember the next week, going to school telling all my friends that hadn't yet seen it, like, yo, you gotta see Iron Man. It is such a great movie. Like, this guy, he's got this metal suit and he flies and he shoots beams out of his hands and he's such a badass. And then the next movie came out later that summer, I think June or July, was The Incredible Hulk. I actually did not see that the first time around. I just didn't have, well, since I had already seen the Ang Lee version of The Incredible Hulk, with Eric Bana in the lead role. Eric Bana, I guess how you say his name. And I'm not the biggest fan of Edward Norton. I like Edward Norton. And in fact, I'd say I liked his performance of The Incredible Hulk better than I like Mark Ruffalo. But I did get around to seeing the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk later on. Not my favorite of the Marvel movies, but it was passable. And then I guess in the coming years you had what? Thor, you had Captain America, of course the first Avengers that came out, I want to say 2012. And that's all just the first phase. There's been like 3 phases. 23 movies. The most recent one, the new Spider-Man movie, I have not seen either of the MCU Spider-Man movies. And I think another reason for that is, like, I just really like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. I just didn't think the new Marvel movies were really gonna measure up to it. I could be wrong. I'll see this week. that's about as much as there is to report today. I can't be making videos for too long because I gotta spin all these Pokestops, get my eggs, get back home, watch the Incredible Hulk, and then I guess either Thor or Captain America. I'm doing it in chronological order by the release date. That's important since, you know, it's all serialized. The events of one will tell you about the events of the next one, which is why I recommend to anybody, you'll watch all the Marvel movies in order. So you won't watch one movie and be confused about plot details that were explained in the previous movie. All right, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. I miss sports so much, especially baseball. All right, have a good day, y'all.